Hello everyone, my name is Gerald. Welcome to Studio Ploy. Do you guys still remember the first part of this two-part adjacent studio unit makeover? Finally, I was able to edit the second part, which is already long overdue. If you haven't watched the first part, we made over the adjacent inner unit into an industrial MCM inspired dining and living area. The second unit will now be dedicated for the bedroom. The overall style of the space would be modern industrial inspired but with a twist. I got the inspiration for this unit from House Doctor, which I think perfectly reflects the owner's style preference. The size of this unit is similar to the first unit at 30 square meters, but with a smaller balcony. We are going to upgrade this unit without replacing the existing fixtures, but what's exciting is we are replacing the old vinyl flooring. The owner's wish list for this unit were very specific. One is the cement finish wall, second is the industrial inspired divider or partition, and third is a queen size bed. And just to tease you with the final result, I believe this unit is the owner's favorite among the two, because when I revealed it to him, I heard him curse in a good way. Unfortunately though, I wasn't able to convince Drew to film the reveal with him. So without further ado, let's go right ahead into the actual renovation process. Drew really wanted more of a rough industrial vibe with most, if not the entire unit, including the ceiling, be covered with cement finish. But again, I told him it'll be very expensive, that it would eat up majority of the budget. Aside from that, he still wanted the space to look airy and cozy, so I was able to convince him to make it a little lighter. And finally, I came up with a much brighter version, which I will also call Bright Industrial, inspired by the House Doctor project. I'm using here again the very same product that I made a tutorial with, which is Wall Art Industria. By the way, this is not sponsored, pero Davis, bacana man. This is going to be the biggest cement finish wall that I've done so far. It will be this wall that divides between the two units, plus the wall beside the pantry area. If you notice, since the sprinkler system is exposed and we are not going to cover it with claddings, my simple solution is to make it blend with the wall by also covering it with the same product. This wall beside the pantry will make for a perfect contrast to the divider and wardrobe that we are going to install, and also having that cement finish element on this side of the unit to balance it out. If you've watched my tutorial for this, I would normally apply 2 coats of the product and let it dry for 48 hours before sanding and finally sealing it. This unit was left vacant for, I believe, over 2 years, so most of the walls and ceiling paints were already bubbling and peeling off. I needed to remove those parts and reapply primer, and in some parts wall putty to fill in those cracks and holes and prepare an even wall surfaces before applying the paint. I'm using here the Bosnia all-purpose ready-to-use wall putty, as I find it reliable and durable. Aside from that, it dries up faster. I just needed to fill in those hairline cracks and even out the surface, then sand off the excess. I will also be covering this faux baseboard with a primer before the actual paint. Though some absolutely love the paint trim as it is economical, I personally don't like this technique as I find it very dated and distracting. It also makes the space look smaller, especially for tiny spaces. After all the prep works and testing out 3 different tones of white paints, I decided to go for Marble Mist for this project with a much warmer tone as it reflects better with light on this location and perfectly contrasts with our cement finish wall. We are going to apply 3 coats of this satin finish paint to cover the old hospital white paint. I love the creamy white effect to the walls on this shot that it even blended well with the terracotta roof from the adjacent building. The same color was also used for bathroom walls, but the BioFresh option because of its antibacterial properties. For the ceiling, I'm using the usual flat latex white paint, and my go-to for this is Boysen's Permacoat Flat Latex. One of client's wish list was to install a screen door to protect his pets from going outside unnoticed and prevent them from falling off the balcony. We opted for a matte black color to match with our divider and keep that industrial style to the space. I also went for an all screen instead of the covered bottom half part to maximize the light coming in and to still see the balcony view. One of the major wish lists is this metal framed glass divider. The idea for this is to separate the main bedroom and create a pantry while keeping the room look open and provide some privacy. We already have the kitchen on the adjacent unit, so the owner just wanted an open pantry or display area. Aesthetically, this will enhance the overall look of the space and will accentuate our cement finish wall. I designed this divider in such a way that it will have panels in portrait configuration to make the room look taller since we have a very low floor to ceiling height of 2.4 meters or less than 8 feet. You can actually notice from the shot how it looked taller from before the installation. With the door, I could have opted for sliding, but instead, I went for the French swing door type to still keep that industrial vibe. The owner saw this before we styled the whole space and actually loved the mechanical swing effect of the door. You'll surely love this next upgrade to the unit, but before that, I needed to clear the whole floor free from debris to prepare the surface for the installation. On part 1, I mentioned that majority of the budget went to the bedroom or this unit. This is one of the expensive upgrade to this space, replacing the old vinyl flooring. I received a lot of comments regarding the flooring on the living and dining that we did not clean it up. Actually, we did scrub it thrice. Sadly, because the unit has been vacant for over 2 years, that it damaged the vinyl flooring and removed its protective coat, thus creating this sort of white spots and unpolished look. For this unit, we are doing this floating system installation of laminated wood flooring in Sumatran teak design. I presented around 3 to 5 swatches for the flooring to Drew, and we agreed to this specific design. Aside from its warm tone, I love the realistic thick wood grains, and it is in the mid-range price-wise. I contracted JME Supreme for the supply and installation of this laminated wood flooring. The final step is the installation of the end profile to hide the uneven parts of the installation. I actually initially asked for the quotation to install the end profile to the rest of the room perimeters, but it was as expensive as the flooring material that it went off the budget. So I ended having it on the most important areas like the divider and on the doors. Unlike ceramic tile, laminate flooring installation is dry, no grout, no mortar, no adhesives needed, and unlike solid hardwood flooring that needs to be nailed down, laminate snaps together and lies in place. I was advised to install a C-section trim or molding instead, but I couldn't find a similar design and color. Glad I found this baseboard similar to the color of the wood laminates at an affordable price in Wilcon. To complete the flooring is the installation of this baseboard molding along the room's perimeter. The gaps along the wall should be entirely hidden by the molding. Assembling furniture is probably the least exciting part of decorating for some, but it's the opposite for me. While it would be nice for all furniture to come pre-assembled, every major furniture store sells pieces that are not. I believe most, if not all, furniture store has flat pack items as well. Assembling is actually fun. It's like a therapy for me. It makes me appreciate it more. As I would always say, it's like me playing an adult Lego. I always look forward to this day because it would also mean we are getting closer to finishing the space. First item assembled is this Bremont 2-door wardrobe. The owner liked this specific wardrobe that I used from our previous project. Before moving to the next item, I needed to clear up the space to make room for the installation of the main furniture of this space, which is the bed. The bed we chose for this space is this queen-size tufted bed frame in gray. My idea for choosing this tufted bed frame is to add texture and create contrasting elements. I wanted to balance the roughness of our cement finish wall and the rawness of our metal framed glass partition and create a lighter industrial vibe. I also took consideration of the low ceiling height and get something low-lying to create space above it and make the space look taller while keeping in mind the client's request. He wanted the bed to be low-lying as possible, enough para hindi din sumuot ang cat pets niya. Next item to install is this lac floating shelf from IKEA. There was actually no specific request for this space but to leave it as is and be sort of an informal pantry. But when I asked Drew to bring in some of his personal stuff so I could use it for styling, he brought in some framed photos. That's where I got the idea to add this floating shelf to make it as the display area, at the same time doubles as storage space. Same as the shelf, I added this as a free surprise element, covering the dark brown under sink cabinet with a gray contact paper to make it cohesive with the space. Another surprise element is this waterproof marble tile sticker. The only request for the bathroom is to repaint it and a mirror plus a shelving unit. I noticed that the brown tile doesn't look cohesive with the entire space, so I took initiative of adding this. Anyway, he can easily remove it if he doesn't like it, but it looked actually better with this marble stickers, especially on the actual. Last two items are this shower head and a mirror wood shelving unit. The shower head was part of the additional items together with the center table on the living area, and got this installed days before the reveal. For the mirror, this Linbin from IKEA perfectly fits our requirement of a mirror and a shelving unit, aside from aesthetically complementing our theme. Initially, the mirror got sold out for in-store purchase and was replenished days before the reveal. And aside from that, it can only be purchased online. Glad it was delivered a day or two before the reveal. Good lighting creates depth and light, elevates the coziness of a certain spot, and draws attention to your most impressive areas. It's all about the balance of light and shade and bringing new energy to an interior. I initially thought of installing a series of track lighting on the bed area as per client's request, but since it's the only source of lighting for this area of the unit, I went for this ultra-flat flash-mounted Trenton ceiling light from Nordlux. It has a soft diffused light that disperses evenly across a surface and softens shadows. The design reminds me of the light from a factory, which perfectly complements the industrial theme. Instead, I install the track lighting on this area to highlight some of the client's framed photos and artworks. I also took notice that there was no provision for a light on the doorway, so I positioned one of the track lights to illuminate the entrance area. A Studio Ploy Makeover project would not be complete without some DIYs and personalized items. Not all items would normally complement with each other, but I always love finding solutions through DIYs or upcycling elements that would elevate the overall look of the space. One simple DIY I did is painting this wardrobe hardware to black to complement with our industrial theme. Our next item to upcycle are the lamp for our bedside table. I wanted to incorporate cement finish to our accessories, so I created this sort of cement cube that would serve as our base for the lamps. I created a hollow box from Cintraboard and applied 2 coats of cement finish, then let it dry for 3 to 5 hours before applying the top coat. The lamp I'm using here is called Scandi lamp that I got from Furniture Source. There was no option for a black frame, so I covered the exposed part with electrical tape to match with our theme. If Drew decides for a more Scandi look, he can easily remove this tape and our faux cement base cube. This next item is a special DIY project. This is unique to this space as I designed this industrial-inspired bedside table specifically for this space. Same with our faux cement cube, I covered this square plywood with cement finish to make it appear as cement slab. This will be the accent for the side table and will serve as a shelf. For the frame, I provided Asiber glass, the drawings and dimension for our side table, and fabricated out of a 3/4 rectangular tube in matte black finish. The top part of our bedside table will be in glass for our cement shelf to still be visible, creating this industrial minimalist look for our nightstand. Styling is always one of the exciting part of the makeover. This is what gives a space a kick of personality, bringing in the last layer of design. It completes the desired look and feel and brings furnishing to life. Like curtains, if properly installed, it makes this space look taller and spacious. Placing the curtain as high as possible and adding an extra foot on both sides would make the window appear to look taller and wider. Since we almost convert the whole of 30 square meter space for the bedroom, we have enough space to add a couch to boost the aesthetic of the space and add practical function to the bedroom. This minimalist abstract painting is my gift to Drew. It's a painting inspired by his initials and the infinite pouring of blessings. The idea came so close before the reveal that again I was able to finish this a day before the reveal. This was actually part of a DIY project together with the foldable chair on the dining. For a lot of people, the bedroom is a retreat from the stresses of the world. It represents as an oasis where they can escape from the rigors of daily life to relax. It's the ultimate serene space for sleeping. There is so much that goes into designing this space. I needed to curate this in such a way that it would speak of his interest and taste as much as possible. Convincing him to go for a lighter version of his initial idea was crucial because I needed to show him that it was the right decision. Seeing his reaction upon revealing this to him was an accomplishment. I remember him saying, "How did you came up with this? How did you know that this is what I imagine it to be?" And my only answer back then was a smile. Again, I wish to thank Drew for trusting me with this makeover. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.